All right. Live. Let's do it. So, all right, we've got a few comments coming in from Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. I'm going to have to do Instagram separately. So I'll check Instagram over here. And I'm going to have to do LinkedIn separately as well. All right, so we're live. So drop your comments in. We're going to do a bit of ecom, talk, a bit of ecom banter. So let's drop your comments in. Hopefully everything has connected and gone live. Looks like we have. Check on Instagram. It looks as though somewhere we're live. Looks like we're live here. All right. Just got a bit stuck on Instagram there, so I don't know if you guys can see on Instagram. Make sure that's working. Just drop me a comment on the Instagram if you can, guys, and just want to make sure that you can see. I can't pick up the comments at the moment, so just tell me if you go live. Otherwise, if you can see, otherwise I'm probably going to have to just do it again, end it, and go live again. Can you guys see? Okay. I might have to end this one and go again, guys. Apologies. Let's just go again. This hasn't worked quite right. This has not worked quite right. And what I'll do is I might just stay in that one and go live on that one. That'll work. Okay, so I'm going to keep an eye on things over here. Drop your questions in, and I'm going to go live over here. Apologies for Instagram. I don't know what happened there, but we'll just end that stream on that one and use this one. Technology at its finest. All right, cool. Hey guys, how are you? So what we're going to do is a little bit of ecom talk. Hey guys, Gwen, Renee, looking at two screens as we've got a couple of different channels going on here. We've got a bit of LinkedIn, we've got a bit of Twitch, we've got a bit of Facebook. I don't know what happened exactly to that stream, but I'm going to end that other stream on Instagram there. All right, hit me with some e-commerce questions. What's better than a bit of e-commerce chat with me on a Friday afternoon? I know you'd much rather be here than at the pub. So hit me with a couple of your questions for the week. I'll tell you what was on our agenda in my groups this week is, well, today was demand planning with the very nice Hayley. We were talking about the importance of product driving growth, right? And what I mean by that is that product drives growth in consumer-led consumer products, consumer product-led businesses. So as an example, if you adhere to the 80-20 rule, you'll know that 80% of products that you do won't work, or 20% will drive 80% of the revenue. So in other words, if you put two products out there, only two are likely to work. So one of the things we've been working on in the various groups this week is just putting more product out there. And one of the clients just messaged me and said, proof that it works. I dropped a range, looking at last year's numbers, they were the best month when I dropped a product. I said, yeah, I know, you just got to drop more product, but within reason, but drop more product and scale on the back of that. So most e-commerce businesses need to be dropping product every week. Another question that someone asked me was, I've got one product, how quickly can I get to 50,000 a month? Now the question about that is, if you only have one product and you want to get to 50,000 a month, if you're making $1 million a month, like some of the brands I work with, it is very rare that any one of those products would make 50,000 a month. Does that make sense? In other words, that would be around, 30% of their revenue. It just doesn't happen. So to put that sort of pressure on a product to drive so much revenue just doesn't happen. So in other words, keep putting out more product, keep putting out new product. One product usually won't get you 50K a month. All right, so let's just hit some of the questions that are coming in. All right, we'll start with you. How many years on average can it take to be successful in dropshipping? On average, if we give 40 hours a week part-time. Man, I don't think 40 hours is part-time. I don't want to be working 40 hours. That's definitely full-time, my friend. 38 hours a week is full-time. Let's answer your question in all honesty. How many years on average can it take to be successful in dropshipping? Well, on average, 1 billion years on average. Most dropshippers fail. Temu's put an end to it. I know you'll be watching stuff on YouTube that says you can dropship and so on. Tell me a product that you can dropship and make a lot of money on that I can't find on Temu right now. If you can, full fair play to you, but dropshipping ain't where it's at, right? It doesn't work. Not anymore. I used to do it and it was good fun, but those days are gone. You can make a few dollars on the side. It's a good hobby to get started, but you're not going to make money dropshipping. What are your five main tips to validate a product to find a winner? You're hitting me hard with 5. How about 1 or 2? Understand the concept of supply and demand, which is essentially if there's no demand for your product, it won't work. Sometimes you can educate and create demand, for instance, electric vehicles, but that's a hard job, right? So find product market fit, find a product that meets the needs of your customer. Okay, now we're talking about validating the idea. The old-fashioned way is focus groups. So the same way that Hollywood makes a movie and gets a bunch of people into a room and asks them to score it. We do surveys to validate it, surveys of people who are in our consumer group or our target market. And we ask questions like, is this a problem for you? We don't talk about the product. Is this a problem for you? How much would you pay to solve that problem? Would you buy this product to solve the problem? Product validation can also be done on Google Trends, trends.google.com. You might have an idea to do a bamboo guitar, all right? But do other people think that's a good idea? Head to trends.google.com, type in bamboo guitar, and see if people are searching for it. You want to see the volume going up. You could also use trending tools like trends.pinterest if you're in fashion and so on to see if your idea is trending. You could use keyword tools like on Alexa or Google keyword tools to see if searches are going up on certain keywords. You could use similarweb.com on a free trial to have a bit of a snoop at some of the other players in your space and see if they're making money. You could head to alibaba.com, find a few suppliers, and on alibaba.com you'll see a little graph that points up with their volume. So if their volume's going up, you know they're probably trending, and you can look at that on each supply. If they're going down, you know that their business is probably going cold. I don't know if that's 5, but there's a couple there. Sue, what if you have skincare? Do I need to keep developing more product? You do. I don't think you're going to need 100 SKUs though, Sue. But you never stop moving is the short answer. Yeah. So certainly you can start your business, get to a certain point, and then you might stagnate. And part of the stagnation is that you've reached your audience many times with ads and so on. They've seen it and they're not responding because they don't want it or they've already got it. And that'll be your time to go into the next product suite. But try and get ahead of that curve and just understand as well that when you drop product, it doesn't have to be in skincare, it doesn't have to be more than 1 or 2 products every month or whatever, or second month, or maybe one hero product a quarter in skincare. But try and build that range up. And just understand as well that when you do drop product, people lean in, they're interested. What have they dropped? You drop more product, you can produce more interesting creative, your ads tend to spike a little bit, influencers want to start working with you. So it's all about brand interest, and dropping new product gives you something to talk about. So yeah, I think you do need to keep developing new products, Sue, if you want to really make it. Never stop, never stand still would be my advice. How do we select businesses that you consult directly? Or how do I select businesses that you consult directly? So I do 3 things. I have a program that helps beginners start an online business in 90 days. You can DM me the word masterclass, and you can watch a free training on that. I help businesses that are stuck under $50,000 a month they can't seem to get past 50,000 a month, you can DM me the word grow, and my team will show you how you can apply to be a part of that group. And I work with businesses from $1 million to 200 million a year on doubling their profits. And you just DM me generally something like scale and for that group. And we just go through a process of asking you a bunch of questions out of my system, designed at seeing if you can be one of those kind of next success stories. And if you can, then you go into working with me. Or if I think you can. So we don't work with everyone, we work with what I call the right ones. Hey Angela, you say, how do you get out of a discounting cycle? It seems like every fashion brand is having to offer discounts and the customer is now expecting it. Yeah, that's the problem with discounting as well. So it's customers are trained, like it doesn't matter what people say, they know what's going on. They know in November we discount. It's about setting the expectation. Don't discount unless you have to, and if you have to, it means you're probably overstocked. It's not a sign of good health, right, to discount. It means you're probably overstocked or your sales aren't high enough. And another way of looking at that is your expenses are too high if your sales aren't high enough, because sometimes your sales just need time to grow. They don't all double and triple overnight. So you might have, you've got to ask yourself, why do I need the cash to discount so frequently? How do you stop it? How do you get out of it? You stop doing it. And it does seem like every fashion brand is doing it. There was an example though, I mean, it really depends. They are doing it around Black Friday and so on, but some of my clients are pretty tough on that. Baby Boo's not a big discounter, Proud Poppy, it depends. You discount when you need to, but you just got to run your own race. If you're a fashion brand and you want to be a price leader, discount. But if you're a fashion brand and you want to compete on things like quality and aesthetic and things like that, then don't make discounting a part of your strategy because you're not a price leader. It would be like going the whole year saying, I'm building this elite brand and it's so beautiful and it's luxe, and then we're on sale every 2 months. It's just a juxtaposition. It's a conflicting strategy. So ask yourself, why are you finding yourself needing to discount? I'd be more interested in addressing the root cause, because you're right, customers do expect it. Next question. Cost of posting product in Australia is so expensive. Do you think customers are happier nowadays to pay for postage rather than the expectation that postage is free, or do you price up the product? Yeah, you just try that. So typically what you'll do with pricing night DK is you will typically offer free shipping up until the point of your average order value, your AOV. And then if your average order value is $98, $99, you'll typically put your free shipping threshold at 100, and you'll have a few upsell items, t-shirts or low value items, and you'll try and upsell them in the cart to get that free shipping. I think like red hot brands can do what they want. The hottest brands in the world, people will pay the shipping. If you're in a competitive space, it can matter if you're saying, well, hang on, I've spent 150 and they still want me to pay for shipping. Yeah, I think you just be fair about it and put your free shipping threshold where your AOV is. So the customer spends a little bit more than their AOV, which raises your revenue, and offsets the the cost of shipping, which is likely to be around 10% of your revenue. So try and get a 10% AOV lift to offset the 10% logistics cost. Does that make sense? Chris, hello Chris. Hey Kaya, what are the top niches in Australia from your experience and knowledge? This is a really hard question, because the top from a revenue standpoint would have to be, in my groups, would have to be women's fashion, but it also has the highest failure rate because everyone wants to do it. But in terms of revenue, the companies I've ever worked with, almost the top four. No, well, to be honest, the top one is probably women's fashion at about 200 million. Furniture, and the next would be a furniture client doing 160 million. Low margins in furniture. Women's fashion would be second, third. Women's fashion is, in my neck of the woods, is the biggest group, but I would hardly call that a niche. It's pretty broad. You might want to find a specific niche in women's fashion. Beauty is obviously highly lucrative. We have a lot of beauty brands that I work with. The most interesting niche would be Sam at SKDA, who does motocross stickers. Shout out to Sam. He sometimes jumps on. He does motocross stickers for motorbikes and does extremely well. That's an example of a niche that I think is really curious and interesting. And remember, you only need 30,000 customers to have a $50 million business. So you don't need to sell to everybody. So you might think, oh, I've got to have mass appeal. You really don't. You just need to find a group of people that, imagine that, like imagine over your life getting 30,000 customers and you can make $50 million a year. So you find 3,000 customers and you'll be doing pretty well. So you don't need to find everyone, you just need to find the right ones. Rob, really like your content, Paul. Thanks for sharing. You're welcome. What makes you stand out? What makes you stand out from other coaches such as Jay Wright's Ecom Equation, Davey's Daily Mentor, and Simon's One Life Club? I don't really know. I just don't look at what those guys do. I know them all, and I like them all, and I think they all play a part. Jay's really good at Facebook ads, teaches people really well how to do Facebook ads. What I do is I focus on the 4 pillars, so I have my own system that focuses on product, marketing, finance, and operations. And I'm geared towards profitability because I know that businesses that sell for the most money are the ones that are making huge profits, because businesses are valued on a multiple of profit. So I personally don't see any point having a $10 million business that pays me nothing, because that's worth nothing, right? So I'd rather have a $4 million business that pays me $500,000. And that's where I am a little bit different. I'm not focused on scale, and that doesn't mean spending more. I'm focused on good, sound business now. So I've founded multiple businesses, I own multiple businesses, and I believe I know how to make money. So as an example, today in one of my groups, we talked about with Haley. Haley's one of my coaches, who's the head buyer at Baby Boo, who came in and taught people how to build out a product roadmap. Yesterday, I was running a session with one of my groups on developing your ideal customer profile. Here's some tricks to work out your ideal customer profile. On Monday, we'll be developing hook strategies. On Wednesday, I have the CFO from Louis Vuitton, Melinda, ex-Louis Vuitton, talking about how to forecast. So what I am is I'm the well-rounded athlete, right? So I don't go in and pump my biceps every day in the gym, which is, like focus on one thing. I understand that business is multifaceted, and we've got to find what's wrong with your business, unplug it, and then you grow. So we just tackle it from a comprehensive angle, but those guys are all great as well. Tanya, the Lashes of Change. Please go and check out Lashes of Change. Tanya's got a great product. Tanya says, that has been the most significant fact I've heard this week, Paul. And you've done a great job this week, Tanya. Super proud of you. Your video was amazing. Cool. Hello, Yusuf. Keep hitting me with the questions. Sorry, I'm trying to keep an eye on both screens at the moment because we have a few other channels going. So apologies if I've missed the other channels. Thanks, Chris. Right, who else has got a question? Did you have a good week, Tanya? Tanya joined one of our programs this week. Started on Monday. I want to know if you had a good week, Tanya. Fire tubs, I'm not letting you in my video. I don't even know what that means. Request to be in my video. That sounds dangerous to me. What are your course and coaching product offerings? I do 3 things in short. I have a program that helps people start from scratch in 90 days, start a business. I have a program for businesses stuck under 50K a month that we work on for 6 months to get them to 50K a month. And I have a program for businesses doing between 1 million and 200 million a year, where we aim to double their profits in a year. That's it. If you want to work with me, just DM me. Someone in the team will sort you out. What motivated you to create Shopify for Dummies book? It's a great book, by the way. Yeah, so for those that don't know, I wrote Shopify for Dummies. Lucky enough to have a new book coming out in March, Selling Online for Dummies. I'm never much good at school, Prab. But I was a good writer. I'm not a bad writer. And I wanted to write a book. It was on my bucket list. I had a conversation with the good folks at Wiley Publishing. I was introduced by a friend, Mick Spencer. Thanks, Mick. And we had a discussion about writing the book. And obviously you've got to go through a process. Not anyone can just pick up and write a book, but I would like to think that I have the credentials in the industry to write that book. Wrote it, went to #1 in the US on Amazon multiple times. And the next one's coming out in March. So I'm glad you're liking the book. Thanks so much. Rob, gotcha, makes sense. Do you focus much on content creation, flywheels, and systems? Yeah, can you do me a favor, Rob, right now and join my free Facebook group? I can't be bothered putting the link in, but just learn e-commerce with Paul Waddy, and you will see one of my last posts was my content framework. So 2 things there, right? I'm pretty good at it, I think. And I published mine for free on LinkedIn and Facebook this week. Go and have a look at it. But I also have Casey Huth, who's I own Ecom Nation with Andrew and Mal. Casey runs our Meta ads. She runs the Meta ads for, we do Who is Elijah, we do Budgie Smuggler, and Who is Elijah have a phenomenal content framework. And Casey's instrumental in that. Casey came in 2 weeks ago to one of my groups and taught how to build your own content flywheel, your own content testing framework. So yeah, we do a lot of that because content is critical in 2025, but take a step back from that. Your hooks are critical. Take a step back from that. Who you're actually talking to, your ideal customer profile. You should have 5 of them. Who are they? Who are your 5 customers? What are the problems that you have? Some of you will be smiling because you've done this exercise with me this week. How does your business solve them? And you get that aha moment, then you can go and work on your hook strategy, then you can film content, then you can test content. So there's very clear steps to it, and it's way more than just running ads and spraying and praying. Tanya said, I have, thank you. Paul's coaching is fabulous. Tanya, good on you. Tanya had a week with us. Tanya's actually gone through both my 2 out of 3 of my programs, from Ecom Start to Ecom Grow. We want to get Tanya to 50K a month ASAP. Can highly recommend. Thank you, Tanya. Hello, Crazy. Crazy, check your emails. Crazy's the best videographer in Australia, hands down. Am I based in Perth? No, I'm based in Sydney, but we have clients in Perth. E-shopping, we have lots of clients. E-shopping group, shout out to you guys. I saw Kaya earlier. Yeah, a bunch of brands in Perth, but we're everywhere really. Already in it. Rob, go and read that content system and tell me what you find most useful. Post it in here. I want to see what you found. So I should say that actually I've launched this week a free Facebook group. There's over 140 resources there. Go to Facebook, search Learn E-commerce with Paul Waddy. And this week I posted my personal content strategy, so you guys can have a look at it and see if you like it. And I'll be posting free stuff. There's 140 free resources in there. So Learn E-commerce with Paul Waddy, go and check it out. We'll add you to the group. Look into the group. Thanks, Rob. Prab, I'm on my way to financial freedom. Nice. One of my pillars is finance, and what we talk about in finance in e-commerce is freedom. When you know your numbers, it creates a sense of freedom. So it's interesting you use that word. Do you think mastering is a skill? Yeah. Oh my God, man, are you in our group? I literally talk about mastering finances. Mastering finances for our $1 million plus businesses is one of our core modules. It is literally called Master Your Finances. Man, 100%. You ask Jane Liu at Showpo, these people are in the numbers. It's not all fun and fluff and content and marketing. Yeah, numbers are critical. Mastering your finances is going to help you massively. It's probably the biggest flaw in business owners in e-commerce. Hey guys, hey Sherry, hey everybody, Twin Fire, hello. Already in it. Yeah, drop me your questions. I will check on, oh, who's blurry? Someone's saying I'm blurry. Am I blurry, guys? Oh, okay, that's funny. I don't know why that is. Sorry, keep going. Someone's saying I'm blurry there. It might be because I'm running a couple of different softwares here, so apologies if it's a bit blurry. Okay, keep hitting me with your questions. I'm going to come back to Instagram and check on Facebook and LinkedIn. But as I said, if you're interested in e-commerce, jump into my free Facebook group. I've sent you a few emails over the last few weeks. Could really use your team's help. We've seen a $4 million month. I assume that means a $4 million month, and haven't been able to get back there yet. Trying to adopt the online habits versus the in-store. Could you DM me? I don't know. Chris is watching. Chris will sort that out. Chris, can you check if we_ver, just maybe send a DM or have a conversation about that. But you've had a $4 million month but can't get back there. Is that what you mean? That's a good month, by the way. But what I want to say to you is that it's really interesting, right? You hit these little, I guess, peaks and troughs sometimes. So sometimes you'll start a business, you'll get stuck at 20 grand a month. Sometimes you'll get stuck at 50 a month, sometimes 100. You go really well and then you get stuck. So it sounds like you're stuck. And so what often people will tell you is that just scale, just push through, just do more on ads. That's not the key to growth, right? The key to growth is usually you're not growing because you're stuck. It's not that you're not doing things fast enough. You're not growing because you're stuck on a certain thing. So what's stuck? What are you stuck on? And my job is to help businesses find out where they're stuck. And when you get unstuck, that's where the growth is. It's not like, yeah, just spend more and you'll get back to 4 million a month. 4 million a year it was. That's still a good year. Well done. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure you've tried the obvious things like spending more. So something is causing you to be stuck under 4 million a year. And our job as coaches is to find out what is it. And we have to go through a process. You'd be suitable for Ecom 100 for sure. Our job in that is to find out why you're stuck and unstuck you. And it might be that your product has reached enough people and it's just mature on that product and you don't have enough products out there. It's time to do category extension. It might be that your conversion rate's too low, or you don't have enough channels in your marketing mix. We go through all of those steps to diagnose what's up and prescribe a solution to get you past 4 million. But yeah, drop me a message and someone will get back to you. Cool. Who else has a question? Prab, it's funny, I actually went to Aaron's Sansoni's Entrepreneurs Summit and Shopo's owner came. Jane is great. Jane's great. Jane Lou. Okay. Hey Paul, what point do you start spending on outsourcing marketing versus DIY? I assume you mean agencies and so on. Like, if you listen to my blog that'll come out next week or my podcast, I talk about the idea that some of my clients will get to 100,000 a month themselves. I have one client doing, 160 million a year, and they're still running it internally. So I guess you might mean as a solo business owner or something like that. Should I outsource my ads? Should I not outsource my ads? Look, it's another cost if you do. Usually, if you've got a small spend, and I'm speaking pretty transparently here, you'll go to a small agency. And not saying that's necessarily bad, but they might also put you on the most junior team member because it's the least lucrative account. That's being fully transparent. So I would rather you upskill in Facebook and go as far as you can until the point where it's like, I just don't have time for this because I've got other exciting projects to do. That would be my advice. Yeah, as a sole owner, unless you can find someone really good who's not too expensive. But I certainly would want to be managing spends of like 5,000 a month myself. I'd say 10,000 a month. You'd be eligible to come into an agency. 10,000 a month, under 10,000, probably manage it yourself, I would say. Hey Gary, hey Cigar Gala Eyebrow. Wow, that's a name. Do you do cigars? No, Ciara, sorry. Oh my God, cigar. Okay, Kyle, welcome. All right, guys, give me some questions. I'm just going to check the other channels here to see if there's been any questions there. All right, yeah, so who else has got a question? Tell me what's happening in your biz. Hey, Gary, tell me what's happening in your biz this week. What are you stuck on? What's a win you've had? Anyone had any good wins this week? Anyone got any challenges they're stuck on this week? Something blocking you from growing your business? Let me know. Let's see if we can unblock it. Hit me. What have you got? Just read the post about your content. So Rob's talking about the content post that I did on my free Facebook group at Learn E-commerce with Paul Waddy. I gave away my content strategy. Just read the post about content. Seems very efficient that you're repurposing across lots of different mediums. How does it translate to brands doing it, like newer brands with no customer feedback? Well, I started with no customer feedback, and it's a lonely place to start, right? Sometimes you post or you talk and there's no one listening. You might boost a post every now and then to get some views on it, because it is hard these days. Nothing wrong as a new brand boosting a few posts to get some exposure, as long as they're good, well-written posts or it's good content. Kira, sorry, I messed that completely. Boost a few posts, and be really good at it. So if you boost a few posts and what you're posting about is boring, people won't come back. If you boost a few posts and it's interesting, people will start to follow you. That's literally it. Now, in terms of how it translates for brands, you're probably not going to use LinkedIn. Some people do, though. You probably, like I've mentioned about 6 marketing channels there on my Facebook page. You probably just need to find your 5 or 6. And it might be YouTube first. So let's say you're a brand and you might be selling, I don't know, skincare. You might do like a once a week 20-minute video on a skincare routine, or an interview with a blogger, or an interview with a beautician, or a product demo. So you would start that on the Monday on YouTube. You would cut that into shorts. On shorts, you would cut it into reels. You would cut it into TikToks. And you might you might start a newsletter. So you might have like 5 ideal customer profiles in your skincare brand. And one of them might be men who are over 50 that have sensitive skin, right? And you might find, oh wow, and we go through that exercise in our groups. Okay, that's interesting. That's one of my ideal customers. You might start a blog directly for that group of people dedicated towards sensitive skin. And once a week you write about sensitive skin. And so then you might have another group of clients who's interested in, I don't know, moisturizer that's something else, I don't know, tinted moisturizers or something else. So you might write a blog for those guys. So you can sort of start to segment your audiences. You don't just send emails like, here's my new product. Start to think about, can I actually send useful emails? And if I can, could I, maybe like not in women's fashion, but maybe we had a blog at Showpo. Maybe you could turn that newsletter into a blog that you optimize for SEO, which I mentioned in the content strategy. So it's just about taking my content strategy off my Facebook page and just adding your own channels in there. Might be that a blog's not one of them, but just add your own channels in there, and it's always about repurposing. And a little tip is, like, if you're wondering about what to write about or talk about or post about, go onto Google and type in, like, let's say I'm selling glasses. I'm just making this up, right? I've got an online business that sells glasses and I don't have a content idea. Go to Google and type do glasses and then tell me what pops up in the suggestions. Go and do a reel and answer those questions a couple of times a week. And on the cover of the reel, put the caption that says, let's say it says, are glasses waterproof? Let's see, that's in Google. Are glasses, pop that in Google, are glasses waterproof? Great. Here's my reel. Are glasses waterproof? Caption up top. Are glasses, a lot of people ask, are glasses waterproof? So here's the thing about glasses, right? So that's your content. You've got to supply and demand. If you're talking about stuff that people aren't interested in, they won't tune in, right? If you're asking about stuff that people are Googling about, they're asking a lot, go about answering those questions with your content. It's a nice little hack and it's super easy. You don't need an editor, just do it yourself, right? So again, if you're selling men's jewelry or anything really, if you're selling, I don't know, trampolines. Are trampolines? Go and put that in Google. Tell me what comes up. First 6 things that come up in Google suggestions, turn them into reels. Does that make sense? Or turn it into a newsletter. So again, you know that'll engage because people are already actively seeking that answer. You're just giving it to them. Is that useful? Let me know if that's useful, but that's one of the little strategies that I use. What platform do you think is best for advertising? What do you do, Emma? Finch. Yeah, tell me what you do. The best advertising is free advertising. The best advertising is word of mouth. So certainly we want to be going viral on socials. We want to have what I was just talking about, a great blog. Do we have an amazing engaged podcast? Do we have hilarious socials? Do we have, the more traffic you can get organically, the more profitable you will be. But tell me what products you're selling and I'll give you my opinion on a paid channel as well, if you like. Jewelry is probably Meta. I would, particularly if you're doing under 50k a month, just Meta. I wouldn't bother with Google. I don't want to dilute a small spend, so probably Meta, maybe a bit of Pinterest, and get 6 channels in the mix. But really, you would be focusing heavily on organic. Shorts is the fastest growing channel. YouTube Shorts. So YouTube's underrated, still bigger than Instagram and Facebook, and YouTube Shorts are growing really, really fast. So YouTube Shorts could be something you look at as a discovery platform. With your larger brands, are you advising them on content and storytelling, or are they just superstars at that? No, I mean, no, some of them are really good at it, and they would teach me. But others, we have content systems that we teach. We have social media strategies that we teach. We have coaches that teach this stuff. So no, we have content plans, marketing calendars, marketing KPIs, hooks. Next week on Monday, I'm running a session on how to craft your hook strategy. So we teach that. Benny says, very useful. I've just started Paul's course and it's exactly what I needed. Yeah, we love having you, Benny. Love that. If you guys are interested in working together, just DM Grow. We'll sort you out. We have something for everybody. Rob says, great answer. Thanks. Don't mean to spam and hijack your comments. What's the onboarding process for new brands starting up? What you do, Ben, is just grow. One of the team will get back to you. Typically, there's a few questions that we ask because we don't want to work with everyone. We want ones that we think we can work with. Otherwise, you just DM me. So go onto my profile and just DM me. You just go in and we go through a process. We ask you a bunch of questions. You get on a call with me and probably some other brands, and we ask questions, we traffic light you, and at the end we sort of know if we can help you or not. And if we can, we'll tell you, and if we can't, we would also tell you. So that's pretty much it. So just DM me on Instagram. Just do that. Go quickly back to Sue says, freight is 10% of our costs, freight to customers. Do you know any carriers that are more cost effective than Ozpost? We talk about freight a lot. Justin Irvine comes in and coaches on freight. Ozpost is pretty good. It really depends what product you're doing. So Ozpost is the most popular. Around 10% is okay. 10% of revenue on your freight is okay. So I don't know that you'll shave much off that. Maybe get down to 9 is good. But it doesn't sound like low-hanging fruit, Sue, to be honest. That's 10% is not too bad of your monthly sales on freight. But Seco for international is good as well. Net profit on wholesale. Oh man, I don't want any business that's got a net profit of sub 20%, really. If it's growing, 50% a year, 30% a year, it's doing, in the millions, I'm okay with 15% net profit. But really, I'm pushing up to 20 as a minimum. Otherwise, it's like, it becomes hard, right? Let's think about that. Like where's my calculator? If you're doing $1 million a year, and you've got a net profit of 15%, people will tell you that's good. That's 150 grand. What are you going to do with that? Most of that will get reinvested back into the business. When are you going to pay yourself? So, I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you're not paying yourself what you want, your net profit's not good enough. It's as simple as that. So I would say 15 if you're growing, but really, like, some of my brands do 200 million a year on 35% net profit. So I focus on profit. I'm a bit tough on that. Hey, Paul. Anthro, hello Joe. Anthro have ordered another 100 units. They've repressed this style 7 times. Do you mean reordered 7 times? Can I ask them for a deposit? Have asked before. They said no. Yeah, ask them. Definitely. Keep pushing. If they want it, they'll take it. If they've ordered it 7 times, they'll take it. Protect your business before you protect theirs, Joe. Am I working with any US brands currently? Yes. Would you say it's easier for US brands to come abroad or vice versa? I would have to say at the moment it's easier for US brands to come abroad because we've just got some nasty tariffs going into the US. That's my opinion on that. Look, let's take the tariffs away. The world's getting smaller. You can ship anywhere in the world in 3 or 4 days. Selling online globally is easier through Shopify. Markets is getting better. It's about the same. If you're in the US, you certainly have bigger export opportunities. If you're in Australia, you certainly have big export opportunities. Most of the brands that I work with that are doing over 50 million would be distributed evenly across multiple countries. It's unusual to be doing it all in one country. Does that make sense? I would like to know your brand. Can you tell me your brand? I haven't. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I'm curious. I want to know what you sell. Okay, how are we for time? Yeah, well, we've gone a bit over time. Any last questions? We can do a couple of questions. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Let's see if there's any last question. I really want to know we_ver what your pillars. Okay. Pillars. I can't click on it, obviously, but I'm going to search for it. If my typing was decent, which it's not. Okay, clothing. Yeah, just DM us. Yep. I don't know if Chris can see this, but literally just hit my profile and click DM and just say we want to work together, and that's fine, or we want to learn about working with you. Pillars_USA. Okay, we'll find you. Can you answer my question for the newbies with no idea? Yeah, what's your question? Did I miss it? Have I missed? Oh, I did miss it, did I? You're pointing up, or is that just a... Did I miss it? What was your question? Do you mind repeating your question? I must have missed it. No, I don't think you wrote one, actually. Okay, what's your question for the newbies? Up a bit. I don't know, I've gone up so far, I can't find it. Where is it? Maybe just paste it in again, or ask it again if you don't mind, and I will answer it. There's no... And so just those that have joined in, I've got a free Facebook group where I've just shared my content strategy. Learn e-commerce with Paul Waddy. You've got 140 free resources there, so jump in and have a listen, have a read, check it out. I can't find your question. Ask it again. Do you have any clients that sell beverages, mini cocktails? Yeah, I actually invested in one. Forgot their name. I'll show you. Wait right there. Yeah, this one here. So they do multiple brands. They're Australian distillery that's now listed on the NASDAQ in the US, Drummer Boy and Twisted Shaker. The company is Innovation Beverage Group. And yeah, they're great. Check them out. They own a bunch of brands, do some really good vodkas, bourbons. They own wines. They own a wine business in the US, Wines Direct, I think it's called, .com.au. Yeah, they're listed on the NASDAQ. They're going great. Lovely people. Started in Sydney, now in the US. Low margins in alcohol. But yeah, they're going pretty well. I've always wanted to get into e-commerce, but just have no idea where to start or what to sell. DM me the word masterclass and join my free webinar where I help you find ideas. That's my tip to you. Yeah, we go through the brainstorming process. Do you find products that you're interested in? Do you find products off Alibaba? Do you drop ship? Do you create do you go to a product engineer and create one from scratch? Do you become an inventor? There's so many options, but it's hard to know what to sell. But yeah, DM me masterclass, jump in on my webinar, and we'll go through the brainstorming. So if anyone wants to start, you can DM me the word masterclass and jump into my free webinar where we talk about how to start and give you some free tools in that webinar as well. All right, guys, any last questions? Just to repeat, you want to start a business, DM me the word masterclass. You'll get a free webinar on how to start. You're stuck under 50K a month, DM me the word grow. You're in the millions, you want to double your profits, just DM me the word scale, and the team will sort you out. If you want free stuff, that's good. Go onto my Facebook group, Learn E-commerce with Paul Waddy. There's 140 free resources, and I go live throughout the week, and I drop tips. Today or yesterday I gave my content strategy out, my personal one, for free. Go ahead, read it, have fun. That's on my free Facebook group at Learn E-commerce with Paul Waddy. Just search for that in Facebook. Until then, we'll do this again next week. Thanks everybody so much for your questions. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the free Facebook group, Learn E-commerce with Paul Waddy. If you want to chat there, go and read some of my tips. If you like my content, there's heaps of it there, categorized into marketing, product, finance, and ops. It's a good little resource. So Learn E-commerce with Paul Waddy on Facebook, free Facebook group to get more of my content. Over and out. Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.